In this video, I'm going to tear these walls out, and we're going to do it right now. One of the most frequently asked questions on my remodel videos is, why did you remove the drywall? It was in perfectly good shape. You could have reused it. I don't like wasting materials. I like to reuse stuff if I can, but there are a couple reasons why I take the drywall off. One is this wall right here, an exterior wall, has insulation from 1946. And I'm sure the R value of that insulation, the thickness and how much it insulates, is not up to the standards today. The other reason is I have taken apart so many walls in my house, in fact, almost all of them, and I have found wires where they are chewed up down to the bare copper because of mice. I had a huge mouse problem when I moved in this house. That is a huge fire hazard. So I want to take all that old wiring out and put new wiring in. And in the case of this room, there isn't any wire. So I could cut holes and patch them in and run the wires that way. But to make it easier and to remove all the insulation and just start fresh, I'm going to rip off all the drywall. Since this wall's already started, might as well start here and go right around the room. And besides this metal mesh right here that was used for an archway into the living room before, it's pretty simple. Just grip it and rip it. This outlet was tied into the living room circuit, so when I remodeled the living room, I disconnected that. So there was literally no power in this room because that was the one outlet before. Finally taking it out. That's the other thing. None of my outlets, nothing, the lights, nothing was grounded. You can see there's only boom, boom, no ground. That's how my entire house was. Not anymore. One down, two to go. Aha. Window weights, 1946. Pretty cool. Let's be careful here. Don't disturb this heat too much. Let's try and get this metal out of here. I'm gonna be replacing that. Probably replacing this as well. Almost definitely shortening it because it is a lot for this room. Just gonna put some blocks under here just to support this. I'm just gonna try and bend these tabs at the same time as I kind of twist this up. I tried to take as many nails out from the back as I could. I at least bent them over as much as I could. Might take some doing, but should come out. Just for this tack strip. Danger. Okay, well, the middle can come out further, so I'm gonna see if I can do some tricky stuff. Slide this. That one's out. That one's out. Definitely don't want to break this heat. Don't want to leak. There we go. Knew I could do it. Just make sure those blocks sit under there, just to support that. Now we can take a look at this wall, and you can see, as I said, no wiring in here. There were no outlets, so I'm gonna run new wire. And the insulation that's in here is very thin. That's probably about an inch, inch and a half maybe. Oh, don't want to breathe that in. It looks like the other thing they did is they just kind of folded this up at the bottom. And when you do that, you have a chance that mold will build up here because moisture will get trapped between the vapor barriers. And it does look like there's a vapor barrier on the back, but it does have holes. I think new insulation has come a long way, so I think it's a lot better than this. The other thing is, in here, if you watched my video on installing this vinyl window, this is where the window weights sat. So they needed to go up and down to help the window open and close. There were the pulleys right there, but this entire little bay here is not insulated. So now that I have a new vinyl window that doesn't need window weights, I can insulate that. Same thing on this side. That's just a big void to not have any insulation, especially where I am in Massachusetts. We get very cold winters, and I'm sure I lost a lot of heat that way. Same with here. Big gap that I'll fill in with insulation all the way around this window. But no real surprises with this wall. It's exactly what I thought it would be. And if you're wondering what this is, it's cross bracing. As you can see, these are just boards that go all the way across. And with plywood, it has a lot more shear strength. Basically doesn't twist like this when you nail off all these studs. So this was a way to stop that when you have high winds or any time that there's stress put on the building. So I'm gonna leave this insulation in for now. We're starting to get some cold nights. So in order to keep this room at least a little warm, I'm gonna leave it in there. Moving on. Last wall. We can take a look at this wall. All of this new framing on the other side is the built-ins that I built, and everything looks pretty good. I should have made that wire a little bit longer. I might have to run a new wire, unfortunately. Actually, no, because the panel is right here, so I can just pull the wire down and pull it back up here and put it wherever I want. Okay, we're good there. I was worried for a second. One thing I have learned is not to do this. This is a cable wire, low voltage, going into a box that has some outlets. I know now that that's a no-no to put them into the same box, but at the time, I didn't know that. So thanks to you guys, I learned not to do that. So I'm definitely gonna fix that before I close this wall up. I found a love letter, and I'm not gonna go reading it right now. I'm not sure about personal information in there or names or whatever, so we're just gonna leave it there as a part of history of the house. What I can show you are these right here. I found these behind the radiator. This is a blank Hallmark card, and these are from Lane Bryant. Anybody remember these? Anybody? Fully lined velvet blazer. Rich velour jumpsuit is true luxury. Sure is. And I made a mess. So, time to clean up. I can only keep a dumpster for 2 weeks. That's their policy before I have to start paying extra. So, what I'm gonna do, pile up all my trash out here until the end of the job, or close to the end of the job. This is kind of how I do it every time. And that way, I can take my time making videos and working on the room. And hopefully my neighbors don't get mad at me for having a big pile of trash out here. Another step down. All the drywall is gone, and I have plenty more videos on this room coming, so stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed yet, definitely consider it, and if you want to check out more videos like this, you can click Hereish and Hereish and check those out. Thanks for watching as always, and we'll see you on the next one. Right now. That's what I do. Right now. It's my thing.